Hey guys, on this episode of Gaming Collecting, we're going to be doing our yearly Halloween special. This time going over a bunch of old Halloween specials that they had during on cartoons, live action, animes back in the day, like the yearly ones. Just kind of going over the ones we remember. Ironically, we didn't remember many, but yeah, we thought it'd be fun. Another yearly Halloween episode. So once again, guys, thanks you for joining us and on with the episode.
No. You unstart this podcast right now. Unstart it. Rewind. No.
It's been a fucking week. That's all I will say.
Yeah, it has
You
been.
ever had one of those weeks where you were just so fucking tired all the time and like yesterday I got home. I left work at 3, so an hour early from what I normally do. Got home, took a shower, grabbed a beer, drank half of it, and the next thing I knew it was like 5 hours later. I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh my god. Sometimes it's just like that. I think too, especially with the weather being so wonky, because it got all warm this week and then it was cold. Like it's been cold, warm, cold, warm. Like you just I feel like no a ton of people were out of work this week. A bunch of people were in and out being sick and not sick. So it's affecting everyone.
I got out of work on Tuesday, got in my car, and it said 90. I was like, holy fuck. Like what is this?
Well, it's supposed to drop back down. It's like I can't adjust. Like I turned off my AC and then the past last night, I was when it was really hot that day, I got home and I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. So I had to pull out my shorts again, to sleep in. I had switched to pajama pants and now I'm back in shorts. I don't know what to do. My fan's back on. I don't
See,
know what to do.
I've kept the heat on, but I keep the heat around like 65, so it hasn't gone off recently.
Oh, I just haven't turned the heat on yet. It's not that cold yet. Once it starts hitting 30s at night, then I'll turn it on. Because that's when you have to worry about the pipes freezing. But for now,
I was more paranoid that it would be broken again, like mine was last year. So I just wanted to make sure it was working.
Yeah. Yes.
Because everything, buying a house, you start finding out everything's fucking broken.
Yeah, I think my garbage disposal might be broken.
Mine was broken when I got it, so I only just now got that fixed.
Mine isn't I hear the motor running, but nothing is happening. So I gotta call someone to fix it.
That's all right. My shower broke, so I have to turn my shower on with pliers right now. That's fun.
Fix it? Call someone to fix it?
I don't have money for that right now, so I have to deal for now.
It happens.
It's part of being an adult.
Oh, you know what Miss Dingle did today? I come home.
Did she try to eat her own supply again?
I mean, I don't know. No, she didn't eat her own shit, and she didn't. She didn't actually eat it. She attempted to, and I stopped her. No, I came home and I'm like, she's like, and she's like doing these meows and they sound guilty, and I'm like, why do you sound guilty, ma'am? And then I walk into the kitchen. She freaking ripped. I have a dishwasher, and she ripped a piece of it off. She just ripped a full metal piece of the dishwasher off. I came home, and I'll send you the picture later. Actually, I sent it to Mom, so I can send you right now. She come on, what the fuck is this? Why are you like this? I live with a terrorist. I live with a freaking terrorist.
I thought you were gonna say for a minute she killed an anime figure. No, but you would have probably been a lot more dramatic.
I'm waiting for it to happen. That's why Luffy stays on top shelf.
Yeah.
Luffy's safe.
Oh, jeez.
Do you see it?
1 second. Your cat is a lovely creature.
When this comes out, I can post in the Discord for context. But what the hell? Like, I like walked into the kitchen and I'm like, why are you so guilty? And I'm like, oh, that's why. I live with the terrorist. And now she's
I bet
sitting in a
I bet she wasn't even guilty for that. You haven't found what she was actually guilty about
I'm
yet.
sure. I'm sure it's probably that. She's sitting in her bowl right now. I see you. Meow. Meow meow. I'm going on a bike ride tomorrow.
Nice.
Me and my I missed it last weekend because I wasn't feeling good last weekend. So I stayed home. My tummy was very upset and I had a sinus infection. So I missed our bike ride and I really wanted to ride my bike. And my coworker just also got an e-bike because we're starting an e-biker gang. E-biker gang. We're a gang. We have four people with them now, and we're strongly pushing number 5, aka going, did you buy it? Did you buy it? Did you buy it? Did you buy it? Did you buy it?
Well, I'll have to get the same like horns as like a Volkswagen Beetle, so you can all drive around going beep beep.
No, or the fork trucks. You know what's beep, funny beep. Is the guy I'm going with tomorrow. He's the material handler, so he drives the fork truck. Goes beep beep. So I feel like he would hate that.
Beep beep.
Beep beep. You want to join?
Probably not.
We're going at 10.
Nah, I don't know if I'll be awake by 10.
Jesus, what time do you sleep in?
I got other things to do after this, and then I probably am going to sleep in because I'm tired. I haven't got a good night's sleep in a while.
I like can't sleep in anymore. Like the latest I can do is 8 o'clock at this point. Like 10 o'clock just doesn't work for me anymore. I also live with the terrorists, so that might be why. True. She also keeps jumping on the bed.
It happens.
It's cute. It's pretty cute until she's hungry and goes in my face. So I'm like, tired.
Yeah. Speaking of things that have been happening recently, I got a bit of a throwback this week. Car crashes. They happened a lot.
Oh, we had like 3 this week.
Yeah. Well, we had the one on last Friday. You were sick, so you didn't experience that one. That one was bad. Then there was like 3 this week alone, which like Monday and Tuesday. Like the one on Monday sucked. Like I even trying to sneak underneath it was bad because everyone was trying to go.
Yeah, I went. Luckily, I can literally take all back roads from my work. Like I don't even have to get on a highway, which is pretty nice for those days. I mean, it takes me a little longer, but in the end, I'm sitting in traffic the same amount of time. I'd rather at least stay moving. Oh, I did terrorize someone though.
How?
They beeped at me on a turn, and I didn't go because there was people actively turning from the opposite road. They had the turn light, so I wasn't going to turn because cars were coming, and they beeped at me. So I punished them by going 20 miles per hour.
Good.
The speed limit was 30. But, I just, for extra,
were they getting visibly angry behind you?
The best part is, yes, she was. She was driving like 2 inches from my ass, and I would just drive slower every time she got closer. And then eventually, like, we went for at least like 15, 20 miles. No, I'd say like 10 miles. 10 miles is right. 15, 10 miles. She passes me. And I didn't really care. I waved her. I was like, bye, bitch. Bye. I'm on the phone with mom. And like all of her coworkers are also hearing me terrorize this woman at the same time. But then I turn and I'm going down another street and I turn and I'm like going to this back road. And I look behind me. I'm like, there's no fucking way. And then it was the same fucking lady. She ended up behind me, and I was at a stop with a turn, and I purposely saw I was turning left, she was turning right, and I just went right in the middle so she couldn't turn, and I just stayed there for a good 5 minutes to be an ass. And I was like, that's what you get for peeping at someone, bitch. So I terrorized someone.
See, if they tried to pass me, I would make it so they couldn't get back in.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it. Like at that point, like I would have been dangerous if I was doing that. Like she was dangerous by passing me. It was a no passing road, and there was cars coming, so she almost killed someone. But But I just thought I didn't care. Like I was like, you're gonna beep at me for not turning when there's a turning light? Fuck you. I'm going the speed limit.
I had someone get pulled over for passing me for that once, and it was hilarious. It was like
Good.
one of the rare times. Reddit, I think on Reddit, it's the board is called Convenient Cop. Like one of the rare times where like you actually a cop is in a right place. I had a person like I was just driving slow because they pissed me off, so I was doing the same thing. They tried to pass me, and I actually saw the cop up ahead. I'm like, oh, you dumb fuck! Like literally, they fly around me, and I see the lights going. I'm like, mission accomplished.
Yes. I
And then I
love
just
when you get that
slowly,
karma.
and then I just slowly drive by, and I look him dead in the eye, and it was like, mm-hmm.
I love that. It was just so hilarious to me when she ended up behind me again. Like I'm like, you
How
went
do you
off.
fail? How do you fail that hard where you aggressively drive around someone and then end up behind them again?
I think I was taking a bunch of back roads, like so, and a lot of it I was just going like turning through neighborhoods. So it must have been like they connected at some point, but my way was faster, bitch. I got there
The,
before
the,
her.
the best part is the whole time she's got to look at Loopy's smug face looking at her the entire way.
Oh, and like I knew it was her because I was like, that car. I'm like, it can't be. And she was the embodiment of a Karen. She had the Karen cut. And I saw that Karen cut shaking with rage, and I was just like, I was dying. It was so I let like 10 cars go, and then I was like, all right, I want to go home. And then I just turned.
Just being an asshole to be an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, like she beeped at me for no fucking reason because she was impatient. I was like, you're gonna suffer, and you probably won't beep. Well, no, you probably will. You're a Karen,
No,
but you know, I
she's
at
gonna
least
be more aggressive now.
yeah, but I didn't care. I was like, that's karma. I'm gonna drive, and I didn't do anything wrong. I drove the speed limit. It was a school zone we were driving through for the most part of it, so I didn't feel bad. Fuck you, Karens.
I feel bad for anyone that was unironically named Karen at this point. Like,
I
because my
know
God,
I work with a Karen, and she's really nice. I mean, like her name is Karen. She's
most
not
of
a
them that
Karen.
most are that are named Karen are actually very nice people. It used to be a very popular name.
Yeah. No, I'm
It went
sorry,
from being
Karen.
what it went from being one of the most popular names in like the world to being one of the least popular names in the world, all because of a meme,
Yeah,
basically.
it just works so well though. That's the thing. Like
You know what I
Karen
love
just
though? The male version, there's like no one can settle on a fucking like male version of it, so everyone just kind of like they change it every week. Like I've heard there's like Kyle's, Kevin's, a couple
I
other
get
ones I've heard.
Kevin a lot.
I
And
hear
you know
Kyle
what?
a lot
Kevin
too.
makes sense because you knew a Kevin. He was kind of
Yeah, but
a male Karen.
I know
So it
another
fits.
Kev. We know another Kevin, and he's a
Oh
very nice guy.
no! You can censor it. What times is so funny. That's no, I don't put it together because in
I
my
know.
mind, it's,
I was trying to be ambiguous.
you can't with me, Bill. You know I outed our own address on this podcast. You had to edit it out.
I'm gonna
Maybe
edit
I
that
can't be
out.
trusted.
I'm gonna edit that out, and people are gonna wonder the context.
Only you should just go if you know, you know. If you know, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm sure he'll know, but I don't want to actually. I don't want to actually out his real name if he doesn't want people to know it.
All right. I'm sorry.
Anyways, yeah, it's been one of those weeks. I have not been able to call our mother all week. Every time I call, it goes right to voicemail. So I think it's because she
No,
works.
it's been the same. You gotta call the work number.
I can't remember the damn work number ever. So,
Save
but
it in your contacts.
even by the time I remember to do that, she won't be working there anymore.
Well, you'll be able to call through once. Cause
Even
I
like later
call
in the day, though, I've tried calling and it just never picks up. So
no
I don't know.
same. That's why I call her work phone. And it's fun because my car I have her in my contact as mom work, and then it's under a work number, so my car goes calling mom work work work. It does that every time, and it makes me laugh. And I
Yep.
just want to keep adding like a work after, and then maybe it would just be like calling mom work 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 work.
You're
But then
very
it would
easily
just instantly
amused.
ask to call. What?
You're very easily amused. Oh, no one believes your crap. You were just laughing about nothing. Problem solved. Yeah, flip me off. No one can see that. Doesn't even notice she's muted. Yeah, very nice. So anyways, moving on from that. Unmute yourself, you psycho. No one can see you doing that.
I'm doing the Miss Ready. I feel like you're doing this to me.
Nobody knows that joke. Now you have to explain.
All right. Quick story. When I was in 5th grade, my teacher, my elementary school teacher in 5th grade, flipped off the classroom with both of her hands because we were being loud little shits during MCAS. And she went, I feel like you're doing this to me, and gave us all the finger, and then did it again. And then everyone went home and told their parents. And she got fired.
No, she got relocated. Let's be real here. She didn't get fired. She got moved somewhere else.
But it'll always be the double middle finger to be the Miss Ready.
I remember that one because I had her for one class the year before, and I always thought she was kind of unhinged. I'm not gonna lie.
I just remember because I think I told Mom because I didn't know what it meant. And I was like, Mom, what does this mean or something? Or I asked someone in school and then I was like, oh, that's bad. And then I told Mom. It was one or the other. I either told Mom by showing her or I asked someone at school. But
the best part
I had to go
was
to the principal. I had to talk to the principal about it. And I had to flip off the principal. Well, because he asked me what she did. So I
Oh, and the principal at that point was such a nice guy too. That's the worst part about it.
I know. I felt bad doing it. I was like, I'm sorry, but this is what she made this symbol with her hand.
I always forget, like a lot of 5th graders were innocent back then.
Yeah, but then there was little shits because there were so many kids in the room also laughing because they knew what it meant.
Well, yeah, people knew what it meant, but they wouldn't. It wasn't like nowadays where these were fucking like kindergartners probably know what it means.
I flipped you off in middle school.
I know, and you lied about it like forever.
Now I just do it on a daily basis. I don't give a shit. But
you were, yeah, but it was one of the best things because you would always be like, "I didn't do it," while you were laughing hysterically, and Mom and Dad did not buy that for a minute. I always remember
I flipped my brother off in middle school. Oh.
Because the context was I ran up and hugged you, and you were like, "Ew, boy."
Yeah, ew.
And flipped me off.
Yeah, I was saying, ew, my brother. Gross. We were in middle school and we hated each other. This was like the period of time where we would beat the shit out of each other with the bouncy ball things. Like the hoppy sit things.
the hippity hops, yeah.
Yeah, we'd beat the shit out of each other with the trampoline.
Yeah.
We should recreate that. That would be fun. I'll win again.
Just run through the neighborhood. They'll think it's a freaking
hippity.
And that's when the police get called.
And we'll be like, no. It's just a game. We're just brothers.
It's street theater.
We never grew up.
Yeah.
We wasted almost 20 minutes.
I forgot about the goddamn Miss Ready thing.
You did?
I forgot.
I'll never forget. That was a big part of my childhood, Bill. That fucked me up. Just kidding. I was never the same.
I still remember I had a teacher that straight up kicked a desk, like that a kid was being a little, like one of the kids in my class being a fucking shithead.
Colony? Is that who I think you're talking about?
No. Mr. G never did that. Mr. G was just like the best teacher ever.
He kicked the ceiling when I was in high school.
He never did anything. Yeah, but he was such a good teacher that no one complained.
Yeah, no, I loved him. He was great, and he was so good at teaching. Like, that's the thing. When they have a great personality and they're actually good at teaching the content, best teacher.
Literally the only math teacher I ever had that I actually feel like I learned something.
Yeah.
Other than maybe the... Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm sad you didn't have, like after Mr. Gonzalez, like the Mr. G, you didn't have the math teacher I had because I had your math teacher 1 year and then she retired and then we got a new teacher and she was so nice and she would have just been so much better to you than that lady. Because that lady was mean to me because she automatically assumed that I was like just like you and like also
Yeah.
one she was really rotten to you, but two, it's like we are two different kids. You got to treat
Well,
everyone this fairly.
she
Like,
was she was a college teacher. Like her entire thing was like, you're going to college. Oh, you're not going to college? Well, fuck you then. That
well,
was basically her
like,
teaching method.
and also like, I'm sorry, but like, she didn't help me prepare for college or anything.
Oh no,
So
that is still the worst school experience I ever had. Her week of pop tests that all counted as test grades, and I got 5 zeros in a row. I went from a fucking B minus to a fucking F,
yeah,
like with like a month of school left, and I had to salvage that. That sucked.
yeah,
That was like the worst.
that was mean. But she doesn't teach there anymore. So whatever.
No.
And now we officially wasted 20 minutes.
Well, let me finish the story. I was gonna say in a roundabout way, like I had a teacher in like middle school, right towards the end, and he like whenever a student was being a little shit, he had a tendency to just kick the desks that they had their desk, and like it was always funny because like the books and stuff would just fly everywhere. Well, one time he did it, and it broke, and the desk just flew up and almost hit the kid, and
He must have been like, okay, I can't do this shit anymore.
no, he was one of those guys that had been there for so long he would have got away with it.
Yeah.
Especially because the
just
kid
been like, whatever, I'll just retire.
no, also the kid that he did it to was such a shit that no one, even this fucking super like the fucking administration probably wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, they
Like
probably
this,
were like, he had it coming.
he'd been held back 3 years. Like he was too old to be in that class to begin with. He was just an asshole to everybody and the teachers. And he finally had enough, kicked the desk, and this desk had been kicked a lot, if you could guess. And it finally gave out, and the fucking table just flung up and almost hit him. And I was like, oh.
Karma.
The best part is I think he complained to the principal. The principal just told him to go away from what we heard. So
Jesus. Well,
no one cared about I think he got expelled eventually. I don't remember because I never saw him again after I left school. But
I mean, I feel bad because obviously someone in that situation of many years being held back, they must have had some sort of issues. But at the same time, I see both sides. It sucks, but we also gotta remember that he must have been going through some tough stuff if he was really at that point in his life. So
yeah, the only reason I don't feel bad is because not only was he a rotten stupid, he was rotten to everybody around him.
Yeah,
like, just to be rotten.
But that's why you gotta be a better person and just remember that, like, clearly, if someone is that upset and that much of a jerk to everyone around them, they must not be doing great. You know, it just people aren't like that inherently. Usually, situations like that, it must be something going on. But sucks. Hope he's okay now.
Yeah. I'm amazed they actually will hold someone back that far in middle school that long, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like borderline. It was like almost an adult with a bunch of fifth graders.
Well, honestly, they were probably just waiting for the point where he could drop out of school.
Eighth graders,
like the age he could. Yeah. So.
But yeah. Anyways, on to our topic because we've waffled on enough. I said it. Haha.
Stop saying waffled. It just like I hate waffled. It. Exactly. I hate it. Stop saying. Now I want waffles.
No, you don't. You want French toast.
No, I want Chinese food.
We'll talk after. So it's kind of bizarre, but this is actually our Halloween special for the year. We're a little late on that.
Insert spooky music here.
Spoopy.
Spoopy, 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 spoop. Spoopy,
so in previous years we talked about our favorite we talked about like indie horror games one year. One year we talked about just horror games in general, and I think last year we talked about our favorite Halloween films.
Yes.
So this year we thought it would actually be more fun to talk about our favorite not holiday, that's later. Halloween specials. And when I say like specials, I mean like everyone remembers like back in the day, you'd watch a TV show, and during Halloween they'd always play like the Halloween special, and you'd
Yeah.
only ever see the Halloween special like once a year. Sometimes you'd only ever see it once because they'd make a new one every year.
Mm.
And some shows ended up making an entire like gimmick out of it, like The Simpsons, where the Halloween special is like one of the main attractions every year.
Did we do a podcast talking about the Treehouse of Horror specials?
No, never 100%. We've mentioned them previously on a number of different podcasts, but we've never really solely focused on them.
Because I always am scarred by the Homer eating himself.
Yeah, they got really fucking dark towards the end, like the later ones. Like they got really extreme. But I always remember this time of year was always really fun because like the TV, all like the bumpers and stuff between cartoons would be all Halloween themed. You'd get these like really the Halloween vibe with everything. And Halloween's a very interesting holiday because it's not really a holiday. It's like more of an event that just kind of happens.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. Some people really enjoy Halloween. Other people not so much. It's one of those holidays. We live in a community where it doesn't really happen anymore. So.
Oh my God, Bill!
What?
Guess what we get to bring up again?
What?
One of my favorite shows from my childhood, Bill. Our childhood that you forgot about, Bill. Gullah Gullah Ghouland.
I don't remember this show. I still don't. So.
I mean, I don't remember what the Halloween episode was, but I found it. The plot literally is one sentence on here, and it says, Shayna and others under the stars at Camp Gullah with Ron, Natalie, and Daisy. That's it. There is no other context. So I don't remember what it's about, but the big frog is there, and that's all that matters.
So, fun fact, we actually discovered that there is a Halloween specials wiki. It is an entire wiki that just catalogs all of these Halloween specials from live action shows, cartoons, all sorts of wonderful stuff. So yeah, we're going to be using that as our basis for going over some of our favorites. That being said, do you want to just kind of start with the Simpsons ones to get those out of the way?
Yeah, sure.
So the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror specials are like one of the longest running, I think, aspects of that already massively long running show. Like they used to sell, I think they still do sell them like separately, like in like box sets with all of them just like alone. I believe they started in season 2 of the series. Like the first season they didn't do one, but then every year after that they did. And they started out really tame. Like they used to always have like kind of this like overarching story, and they'd kind of spoof like different like cultural like holiday stories. Like I know one like they did like a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe stories, just like stuff like that. And it was generally when the animators and like writers would just get to do some stuff that was a little bit more extreme, as they would say. Then after a while, they kind of like got rid of the whole like plot synopsis, and they kind of just made it 3 random shorts that just were stuck together, and they kind of went with that for like every year onward.
One year they called it Halloween of Horror. Do you see that?
Yeah, I think they changed it up around.
List, like it was 1 year, and then they immediately reverted back because it's literally Treehouse of Horror 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then it's like Halloween of Horror, and then it goes back.
Yeah,
so that didn't go over well.
It was just an unnecessary change. You've done that many at this point, and then you just change it. And there might have been a context. We watched all of them a while back, like in a marathon. And
well, we watched them up to a certain point.
Up to season 30, I want to say. Because that was all that was on Disney Plus at the time.
Yeah.
Which means we can't die at a Disney park, because that means we can't legally sue Disney. Just put that out there.
That's so fucked up.
I know. But yeah, the later ones were both really interesting, but also really fucking dark. Like
Mm.
literally the one where Homer eats himself to death is still that one is just
That
uncomfortable.
Yeah, like that one wasn't like scary. It just like left us both like, what the fuck did we just watch? Like we were
Well,
both just like uncomfortable.
well, especially because the one before it was a freaking Coraline like parody.
Yeah, like the tone just shifted tremendously, and then it was like it went from like okay to what did we just see?
They even put a disclaimer, like they hadn't done the
Yeah,
disclaimers in years.
I wonder
Uh,
if that disclaimer wasn't there originally, and then they had to put it back after like audience feedback of like, what the hell did I just see?
I don't know. Like that one, I always just remember being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
What's funny though is like a lot of the later ones use like CGI and like different animation styles, which is really interesting because like I remember like Homer Cubed is like one of the most famous Treehouse of Horrors because that was like the
Mhm.
first one that did like the 3D CGI, which
Yep.
nowadays doesn't look very good anymore, but it was so iconic for the time.
Yeah.
Like I always remember the ending of that episode where Homer like ends up in like the real world and he's like, "This place is what is this weird place? Ooh, erotic cakes," and then it just ends where it starts going up into the sky.
Yep.
Uh, like what a weird time.
Mm.
It's interesting too because like I can't think of any other long running series that did that many Halloween specials.
It's the biggest one out of all of these. I mean, it looks like
Well, I'm thinking of like Halloween like long running series, and the only
I
well
don't think anyone has.
South Park did a whole bunch of them, but not nearly as many. I'm trying to think of
It actually
long.
looks like a regular show did something. I don't know how similar, but it says like Tower Tales of the Park, and then it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that's how long the series was running. So it looks like they did kind of similar.
You know what's funny? I'm like looking on this list, and I was thinking like SpongeBob is an extremely long running series. They've only done two.
Well, because I was saying that too, and it's like I think the other one must have been like when we had stopped watching the show, like when it got gross. Because I remember Scaredy Pants.
Well,
I
everyone remembers Scaredy Pants because that was the one where SpongeBob like is a bed sheet. It's the
Yeah,
flying mattress.
well also, and then he like lifts the thing off, it's just his brain, and everyone's like, ah, like what the hell?
Oh yeah, because
Um,
that was like the first appearance I think of the Flying Dutchman too, before he just became a regular character.
yeah, I don't remember Legend of Bikini Bottom. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
remember. I feel like
yeah.
this was season. This came out in 2017. Yeah, this was. Oh no, it's like the. Oh, it's like a stop motion. Oh, was it DVD?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I never watched this.
Yeah,
But it was
I'm
just like the Scaredy Pants one was just a classic.
they probably just played that one on like repeat every year, which is
Well, yeah,
interesting
because
to
it
me.
was like the Christmas special.
Yeah, I
They
always
played the
remember like
Christmas special every year too.
it's
Because they
actually
were actually funny. Like they didn't need to
hmm,
do a new one every year.
it's actually really interesting to me because like I'm looking through and a lot of shows like didn't do yearly like Christmas specials. They just kind of had the one-offs. Like I'm trying to think like even another like
I think like the Fairly Odd Parents. Like remember they did the one with like the pumpkin mecha costumes.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Scary
Yeah,
Godparents. I remember that one. Yeah, because
trying
you'd
to see
only
if they
see
had.
they would
Yeah, that's
only
all it is.
they'd only ever play that one like once a year. And like you'd
And
only
but
see it.
that's like what was kind of nice about it because you looked forward to it every year. You know, you were just like, yeah, like.
Oh,
Plus, it
even
was
like
actually like
another
good
classic.
episodes they put time into as
Oh yeah,
well.
like even another classic like Codename Kids Next Door had Operation Tricky, which was like the trick or treating one.
Yes,
And that was a once a year thing.
that one
Cat
was definitely.
Dogula. I remember that one from Cat Dog. Still hate that show, but I remember it. It's
Chowder
funny.
had one, but there is no description other than it's just called birthday suits.
So what's funny is Ben 10 had a shit ton of them apparently. Like, I don't know why.
Ew, Caillou had.
Fucking. Oh, Arthur had a few. I remember the Arthur ones.
Oh wow, Ben 10 did have a lot.
Alex, your
Oh
favorite
wait, no, but Ben 10, it's counted
as a
franchise.
series. Yeah, but that's still a lot.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, the original series had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Had 8, but then it's like Omniverse and then Ultimate Alien and Alien First. So it wasn't as like all for one. And one for all for one. Sorry.
Even Jimmy Neutron only had one, the Nightmare in Retroville. I always remember that one because that was the one where like Jimmy he had this invention that would make people's costumes real. So like Sheen became an actual werewolf and Carl became an actual vampire. And like I always remember because he was like this, it was his head with wings flopping around. I was like, this is stupid. And then he bites Cindy and she becomes a vampire.
It surprises me which one's the Angelina Anaconda.
Yeah. I still don't know. That's a show that like would be like a Flash animation nowadays on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm like looking and seeing.
And then the fucking Cleveland show had like 6. Like,
how long did that run for?
I didn't realize it lasted long enough to have this many. Like, because it lasted, so it had 3. That's still more, probably I guess 1 per season because I think it only lasted 3 seasons. But sheesh. Like,
it makes me laugh looking at some of these because like some of them like these had a Halloween special, like because I don't remember.
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember the Hey Arnold one?
I do, but I remember it happened, but I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah,
which is always a sign because I remember every year it would air back when they only had one. I remember the Danny Phantom one too. That one was pretty.
What's the Danny Phantom one about? I forget.
So it was Fright Night. It was the first appearance of like the Headless Horseman guy because he.
Yep.
You kind of forget about it because he ended up becoming a recurring character.
No, yeah, they ended up keeping him after.
Well, because he kind of would fit in with certain things. Oh, my page refreshed, and now I'm in the live action shows. And now I've lost everything.
I'm like looking. I'm like, oh, Bill, we gotta talk about Peppa Pig in the pumpkin party.
The only Peppa Pig I've ever seen is those fucking YouTube ads. And the only reason I ever watch any of them is because I'm in the fucking shower, and I'm like, fuck. Like nothing is worse than a fucking unskippable or a fucking like 20-minute YouTube ad when you're in the fucking shower and you're like, really? It's always fucking.
Do you remember Recess Halloween special?
I do, but like most of these, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember it was a thing.
Then why do we do podcasts on this? Because we clearly don't remember half of these.
Well, because you're not giving me enough time to find it so I can jog my memory. Recess. Oh yeah,
I have squirrel brain. There's so many freaking ones that I don't remember.
Oh, I remember the Terrifying Tales of Recess. I remember this like fucking little this shithead on the front of the thumbnail. The guy with the skunk hair.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was like the typical like a lot of these shows were always like they were like anthology shows kind of in a sense where they would a lot of them would just use like it would be like the show would be going on and there'd be kind of like an overarching background plot and then it would just kind of go between these little like mini stories in between. They usually
like recap little clips.
Yeah. They were usually entertaining. I'm just amazed how many of these like Back at the Barnyard had one. It was called Back at the Booyard.
That was a terrible fucking show. That was an awful show.
I know. That was a not very good movie in general.
The male cow was spraying milk at other cows in that show.
Anatomy doesn't matter in a cartoon. And in the context of what they were going for, that's fucking gross.
Yeah, I know. Also, did you notice that there's an at the
Whatever.
bottom. There's an anime section.
I don't know what you were trying to
You're-
say because your mic straight up just shit itself right when
There's
you
an
said.
anime section. Did you see it?
I haven't got there yet.
Scroll to the bottom because Hamtaro, Ham Halloween. Dude,
Oh damn!
this is
There was a lot of animes that had Halloween specials. Apparently,
apparently, yeah.
none of them are ones I've watched though.
Ooh,
There was a
What?
Parappa the Rapper anime. When was that?
I've seen the Oron High School Host Club one. I've seen that one. That one's
I'm
actually pretty good. Cause that one actually is they're in the school and they're doing like a test of courage in the school for Halloween. So they had it all decorated and then they all get split up into teams. And at this point in the series, there's multiple characters that are interested in the main love interest, and they get kind of split up. And it was pretty cute. It was pretty cute Halloween special. I like this one. I liked it. Anime.
I'm actually amazed.
Bing.
I have a strange feeling that the anime section here isn't complete because I swear there has to be more than this.
It might be. It might not be, just because there's probably so many that like people haven't watched. Just if this is based on mostly what people have watched, but like I know One Piece doesn't have a Halloween special unless you call like the Thriller Bark arc the Halloween special, but that is like 100 episodes.
What's kind of fun it's a very long special. What's kind of funny is though, I was just thinking of anime. I actually kind of got reminded of that one scene in Persona 4 Golden where for Halloween, Yosuke calls you to help set up the Juness for Halloween, and then after they set it up, someone shows up and goes, "Oh yeah, we're not doing this promotion anymore. But damn, if I knew you guys were gonna go this hard, maybe we should have."
Like, damn it!
It's mostly a gag, like one-off day, like event thing that you can do, and it's just like, yay! Oh, the Weekenders, Alex. Do you remember the Weekenders?
Yeah, that show was so boring. They were such lame ass kids.
They
Do
went to
anything better on your weekend?
They went to a pizza
Losers.
place that changed every fucking episode because that was a gag.
Yep.
They had a Halloween episode too. The one thing I remember about that episode was like that was the whole plot of like that episode was like one of the kids was still super into Halloween and the rest of them were too cool for Halloween all of a sudden.
Oh, that was actually cute. I remember this now, and that was actually a cute episode because like it was like a nice message, like everyone's old enough for Halloween.
See, my favorite part about that one though was like there's one point where like so he decides he's gonna go like trick-or-treating with like they weren't I don't know how to best category. They were kind of like the oddball kids in the school that were kind of different. That's the nicest way you can put it. You can clearly tell what they were going for.
Yeah.
But like one of my favorite parts is he's in this like weird like one of his dream sequences. He's like going through this like laboratory and he's like, I'm gonna make the perfect Halloween costume. And he combines two random costumes he had into this weird abomination of a costume. And he's like, perfect, no one will have this costume. And then he shows up to the with the kids that he's trick-or-treating with, and one of them has the same costume.
And he's like, damn it.
And it's just such a what the hell like in his face moment. But the best part about the end of that episode is like they're just chilling at the house and like 3 of the teachers show up trick-or-treating, and it's like, see, anyone can trick-or-treat.
Anyone, yeah. Billy, you wanna go trick-or-treating?
No, not in the slightest. I am too old for trick-or-treating.
Those
Alex,
teachers were. Why won't you go trick-or-treating with me? I want peanut butter M&Ms.
Alex, you don't want. You're not even. You're too tired most days. So you're not going to go after work.
I'm going to your house for trick-or-treating.
And I'll give you nothing because I don't have candy because I'm not buying it. If you don't have
candy, I'm stealing food from your fridge.
There's not much of that to steal either. You're going to be
fine. I'll steal a can of beans. I know you have that in your cabinet. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm going to take a video and post on the Discord. I'll put on my One Piece.
You know, the funniest part about this is like I remember half of these shows, but like I didn't realize half of them had Halloween specials.
Yeah.
There's also like 4 Scooby-Doo shows.
Yeah. I mean, Scooby-Doo in itself is a Halloween special. The whole theming of the show, like, I feel like they didn't really need one since it's like ghosts and goblins are kind of the
Yeah.
Halloweeny presents, but they
Randy
do them.
Cunningham, 9th grade ninja. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I was reading through some of these, and I was like, what the fuck are these shows? Like,
Like, what the fuck is
must
that?
have been like one-offs that just happened to line up. Like, there's a show called Almost Naked Animals. What the hell was that?
FBI open up.
Yeah, clearly.
Like, the Proud Family. I remember that one. Because that show, I kind of hate that show. I'm not gonna lie. Nowadays.
Mm. Do you remember the Backyardigans?
No, that was after I stopped caring about
cartoons. They sang the Castaway song. The song that was Castaway. We are Castaway. Do you remember that song? It was popular on the Reels and the TikTokies for a bit. That's all I remember of it. I never watched it. I just remember that.
I've never had TikTok on my phone, so you're asking the wrong person.
You have Reels, and I send you shit. I send you garbage through there all the time.
Yeah, but I don't remember half that shit you send me.
That's it. I'm hanging up. Bye, bitch. Leave. Well, let's talk about some of the live action. Because clearly we don't remember half of the animated ones besides SpongeBob and the Fairly Odd Parents.
See, I remember a lot of them, but it's like at the same time, it's like there's just not a whole lot to say because they were all pretty formulaic. That being said, though, I do remember the Friends one because I've watched that show way too many times.
I was waiting for you to talk about it. You describe it, Bill. Describe it in full detail. Every line from the show.
So it was the one with the Halloween party. Chandler dresses up as a pink bunny because Monica.
That's not the turkey.
No, those are the Thanksgiving specials. Yeah, Friends gimmick was the they would have Thanksgiving specials every year, but they had one Halloween party, and I always remember it because that was the one where Ross dressed up as a potato, and he was Spudnik 1. And I always remember. But I always remember because Phoebe shows up and goes, "Oh, Ross's duty."
He's Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Pooh just stared at me. Oh, she's getting up. Nope. She just changed her position. I think that
was also the episode that Sean Penn guest starred in. Now that I think about it, what a weird cameo. Yeah, he was Phoebe's sister's fiance, Phoebe's evil sister,
which was just the same actress, right?
Well, yeah, it was a reference to another show at the time.
That's funny.
Yeah, I always remember Chandler in the pink bunny suit though. Spudnik. I don't know what was more iconic, Spudnik or the Holiday Armadillo.
Wonderful.
Any other live action shows that you watched in particular, Alex?
Oh, I remember. I mean, I think it's funny how many Power Rangers ones there was.
Well, yeah, they had to have a Halloween special for every Power Rangers season. They were always shit.
It makes me laugh. I'm trying to see if Parks and Rec had one. I'm being a bad fan, but that's like my favorite sitcom. MASH had a Halloween special?
It did. It was actually a really good one, too.
Oh, I remember this one. The Lizzie McGuire Halloween special.
That's a teen drama that I always forget about.
I freaking love the Lizzie McGuire one. I think this one was like, I think the plot was like, I remember now. The plot was like Lizzie wanted to like dress in this really like I'm just gonna say it. She wanted to dress in a sexy Halloween costume, and like I think her parents were like,
Sexy
"No."
by early 2000s standards, by the way. Like nowadays, it'd be like,
I
ooh.
mean, she didn't actually wear one. She wanted to be like a vampire, and then she ends up going as a clown. Uh, but I think it was like it was like her. I know like her friend was uh I think she was of like Latin descent, so they actually played around with like the whole Day of the Dead concept, and I think her friend was like heavily involved in it, Miranda. Um, yeah, Mexican holiday Day of the Dead. Yeah, and this one was actually kind of cool because it was actually kind of spooky. Like I remember it actually being a little scary.
Was it as horrifying as the That's So Raven one?
No, it was still like
Because
fine for
you remember the That's So Raven Halloween special, right? Where they turn into
no,
fucking animals.
no, I don't remember that one.
Uh, I got reminded of that recently because I saw it was a compilation of like shows that were like kids shows that were just weirdly disturbing for no reason.
Oh boy,
Uh,
okay, I'm glad I don't remember that one then.
Trying to see if it's even on here. If it was even a Halloween special, it might have just been a weird horror thing.
Oh, Parks and Recreation did have a Halloween special. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, I do remember. They had like a Halloween party.
Oh yeah, the That's So
Yeah.
Raven one was called Don't Have a Cow, and like they like turned into cows at the end. It was bizarre.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they really did try, and we wish they didn't.
Why is Thomas the Tank Engine under live action? Half of the show's
Oh,
CGI.
I don't
I mean,
know. You talk to the guy who made the list.
I mean, I like some of those episodes, but they're not live action. Oh damn!
There's a lot.
There really was a Halloween special for like every Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I always remember because they had like nothing to do with like anything, but
Mm.
they're there. Jesus, did you ever watch Goosebumps back in the day?
Goosebumps?
Yeah, Goosebumps.
No, it scared me. Did you?
Yeah, they're so goofy nowadays.
Yeah, as a child though, it scared me.
Oh yeah, I remember the Ned's Declassified one. That was interesting.
What was the Ned's Declassified one? Even though Ned's kind of. Have you been listening to that podcast at
No,
all?
no,
Or did you also?
I dropped off the second they stopped talking about the goddamn show,
Yep.
which was like pretty early on. Like, yeah,
Yeah, they really
they
did.
they're a weird case where like they didn't get fucked up on the show; they just fucked up their lives after the show.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, like after hearing though about some of the things that happened on the show, it's not as bad as some of the other ones, but they're still probably not okay.
Well, from what it sounds like, that was all stuff that just teenagers would end up doing anyways. It was nothing that the actual
Yeah.
production crew did.
No, thankfully not. I do not
Yep.
remember this Guide
So
to Halloween.
I remember it just because it was a weird like two-partish episode where like the first half is
Well,
like
because each episode of Ned's Declassified was usually 2 stories in one, and
yeah. See,
this
I
one it
remember
just accounted for both.
like the first one was about it was like about a Halloween party at the school and they were all in their
Hmm.
costumes. But I always remember because the second half it was like a weird dream sequence where like they were actually the their actual costumes in reality. Like Ned was actually a vampire.
Hmm.
Cookie was like a half werewolf. Mose was a ghost, which was funny because her costume was literally a bed sheet. But then in
Yep.
this in the dream sequence, she's like all like transparent phase through. And like her goal throughout the special is she's trying to kill another student so she'll have another ghost friend. Like she was trying to kill Susie Cat Crabgrass to have another friend, but she ended up killing the really annoying kid by mistake.
She was like, "Damn it!" Oh,
But
the
then
one who like doesn't stop talking.
yeah, that one. But then like the best part is like the episode ends where like they blow up the school gets blown up and they all become ghosts and they're all like, see, it's back to normal now. And then Ned wakes up from it was like a candy fueled nightmare. And he was
Candy
like,
coma.
his final like advice for the episode was like, don't overdo it on candy on Halloween night, which I'm like, understandable.
Yes, that's why your parents usually take it away from you and go, no more candy for you."
Well, because otherwise you're gonna have nightmares and you're gonna throw up everywhere. Because that's what happens when you eat a lot of.
What's the peanut M&Ms? Can you get me some?
No,
Why not?
because you have your own money.
You know, I want.
You just don't want to spend money.
No. Can you just? Oh, perfect. Could you DoorDash me some, please?
I like how Are You Afraid of the Dark also had Halloween
You're
specials,
just
even though
gonna
the
ignore my request.
no, because you have your own money. Alex, Bear in the Big Blue House had Halloween.
Wait,
specials.
what? Okay, I gotta find that. I gotta find that right now.
It's
That
near
was
the
like
top.
my favorite fucking show.
Halloween Bear.
That mouse is my spirit animal.
Yeah.
I love that little mouse.
What was more your spirit animal? The mouse from that show or the mouse from Cat Dog?
The mouse from Bear in the Big Blue House, most definitely. I've seen so many clips, and I am that mouse. Oh my god! Oh, I want to watch Bear in the Big Blue House now. Oh, it's such a cute show. Little puppets. Ah. He's wearing drag. He
Alex,
was in a wig.
your cat had a Halloween special, The Book of Pooh.
Yes, I saw that, and I thought about mentioning it, and I was like, nah, I don't want to link it. So thanks a lot.
They really had a show called The Book of Pooh. That is wonderful. Oh no, the Cosby Show's on here.
Oh no.
I also like how Desperate Housewives is on here. Some of these are funny.
Yeah.
Desperate Housewives had like 5 Halloween specials.
Some of these are like ER,
Yeah, Family Matter. Frasier. Pretty much everything had a Halloween special at one point or another.
Yeah. Full House.
Yep. Goosebumps had Halloween specials.
I love how one of Full House's Halloween specials is called Divorce Court.
Sure, why not?
What?
Oh, I forgot. I always remember Home Improvement did too. Ooh? It's not Home Improvement without it.
iCarly had.
I remember I Scream on Halloween.
Yeah.
The other one that doesn't work. Some of the iCarly titles were funny. The second Halloween one, not so much.
They were really trying. Halloween.
Halloween, like that. That's trying a little too hard.
What is it about?
I don't know. I didn't stick with iCarly that long.
Yeah, I don't remember. This was the 6th season. So this was I was probably not watching it at this point.
I love how like there's like a number of these that the name of the episodes are literally just either Halloween, the Halloween episode, like
yeah,
or some variation of Trick or Treat.
That is so funny.
Oh yeah, the MASH episode was called Trick or Treatment.
And I remember that's clever for MASH.
Well, it was actually a pretty clever episode too, because they were having a Halloween party, but then they still had to perform surgery, so they were doing surgery in the Halloween costumes.
Yeah,
which was kind of
funny. They were doctors. What else were they supposed to do?
That's a very dark comedy, but I really do like that show a lot. That being said, though, we kind of covered a lot of them. Halloween it's a holiday that I outgrew. Halloween. How many years did you do Halloween before you finally gave up on it?
I think I did it like 1 year after you did, and then I stopped doing it after that. And then you guys would pass out the candy.
Well, because I remember I got to so the final year I did Halloween was 6th grade, the first year of middle school. And I think the reason why I stopped, well, it was partially 2 reasons. One, because like I get why our mom did this, but when the candy would disappear after a day, it would kind of just kill the entire point of doing it.
Yeah.
Nothing against our mother. I get it, but it kind of kills any enthusiasm for going out and collecting the candy when it's gone after like a week or a couple days. So,
Yeah.
but also it just wasn't fun anymore. Like you just go out and you'd feel like a more of a nuisance than an actual like having fun. Like, and you could tell too by the older we got, the less like people in the neighborhood seemed to actually be into it. Like some people were just apathetic as fuck.
Yeah, well, it was also like I feel like too we were there like when we were younger there was a ton of people who were younger, like there was just a lot of kids, and then as we got older, people either moved or stopped going, so it wasn't as much, because I mean
Also,
like we used to have people who came to our house back home, like our parents' house, like we would have people every year, and then like every year it's kind of just like the number of people who like
well,
if they get like one trick-or-treater, that's something.
I also laugh because like you could tell over the years kids just got lazier and lazier. Like it's really funny to me, but like I know like for a fact like towards the like eventually I stopped passing out the candy just because even that got the whole point just died. Because
Mm.
like we'd literally get to points because we had a really long driveway.
Yeah.
Um and
And we
legitimately
really didn't though. It wasn't that long.
it was long enough. It was long
Yeah.
enough. That what I would see is kids would walk by our house, they'd stop, they'd see us sitting there with the candy, and then they just keep walking because it was too much effort to go get. And I'd be like,
Would have been at the end of the driveway.
yeah, but that always led to weird because it was dark there and there wasn't enough lighting.
Don't be a little bitch. Just kidding.
You wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's why I was in the house.
Yeah.
Warm. Not sitting outside and it's cold out.
It wasn't even that cold out, to be honest. We had a
There
fire
were some
going.
years it was cold.
Yeah, but we always had like a fire and some jackets, and it was fine.
It was fine.
But yeah, Halloween's like a thing that some people like will do forever, and other people kind of grow out of.
It's Poopy's first Halloween. What should she dress up as? A turd?
A poop emoji.
Well, she already is one. She's brown.
Lovely. And honestly, guys, I think that's pretty much it.
We babbled for 20 minutes in the beginning, so it made it an hour.
Yeah, we did. It's getting harder and harder every year to think of Halloween topics. We'll have to actually brainstorm.
Probably gonna have to like pick like a Halloween game and actually play it and then talk about it.
That or maybe actually like watch a couple Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, guys, thanks for joining us on the Gaming Collecting Podcast. The Gaming Collecting Podcast.
Where is it?
All the major podcasting
Where
platforms. We'll get there. We're not there yet. Particularly Apple Podcast
I
and Spotify.
know.
And be sure to follow us on the Superpod Network.
Don't you do it.
Superpodnetwork.com. You can find a ton of awesome.
He's reading a script. He's reading a script.
You can find a ton of awesome shows, including. God, she's throwing me off. You can find a ton of awesome shows such as Superpod Saga, Super Ghost Radio, Retro Rehab, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, A Novel Console, Bar Silence, Find Time, The Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast, Remember 64, Gaming Together, Friday Night Gamecast, our three shows, Gaming and Collecting, The 3DO Experience, Geek Addicts, and of course, The Retro Wildlands. Also, be sure to check out the site, and you can find all of the different shows, blogs, videos, all sorts of fun stuff. A lot of great creators over there to check out. And with that, everybody, I can turn her back on now.
Unmute me. Oh, did you unmute me?
Yes.
He freaking muted me. He's reading off of a script, everyone. He doesn't have this memorized by heart. Shame
everyone
him.
can
shame,
see.
Shame.
Alex, you're forgetting that the other shows in our network, that actually get to post the video versions, and people know I'm reading off a script. It's very clear as day right there.
Shit.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us.
Hey, wait, Bill. I got a knock joke.
What?
Knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
No.
No, you gotta go boo-hoo.
Why are you crying? Why are you crying? What a dumb joke. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.
No, you won't. I won't be
Yeah, we
here. I'm gonna find a new podcast. Someone who appreciates my talents of chaos. Fuck you, bitch. Happy Halloween! Eat some candy and bring me some peanut butter M&Ms. I'm hungry.
Don't give them to her. She doesn't deserve them.